Alexa Bliss comes out for the This Is Your Life segment. Mm-hmm. The ring is all decorated. We have 3 guests in the ring and all this Bayley-related memorabilia on this desk. And Alexa was asked to carry quite a lot here. First off, she showed everyone Bayley's first ever doll, which she went to go say what age she was when she used this before revealing that she still plays with this doll and then tossed it away. She showed off a Bayley trophy she got for Best in Sportsmanship and then looked at Bayley's yearbook where she was voted most likely to apologize, which I feel I'm going to vote the writers of this segment. Bayley's teacher was then introduced, Mrs. Flapper, who informed us that Bayley used to cry being away from her parents at school. Then we moved over to Tracy Javelina, Bayley's ex-best friend, who said that Bayley used to do other people's homework, and then Alexa mocked her for dressing like a 12-year-old. And then finally, Bayley's ex-boyfriend, Phil Johnson, who says that Bayley was a very nice girl, but Bayley's father was just always around, even when they'd go on dates. And then there was one time when he closed his eyes to go kiss Bayley, and when he opened his eyes, Bayley's father was there.
What?
The crowd was very loud in chanting delete, and says he only dated Bayley so that he could get close to Tracy. And Booker, speaking on behalf of everybody, said, "This is hard to watch." And then Tracy and Phil started making out. And Bayley had had enough. She was so angry, Way. Could you imagine if someone did this to you?
No. I can't imagine.
First of all, that would be the biggest problem in this segment.
I would laugh. I would just come out laughing.
How could you possibly be upset about this? All this fake shit that you've garnered of mine.
This was an undeniably awful segment, and maybe one that will be talked about for years to come.
This was compared to the old day of last year.
The old day? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to compare it to the other This Is Your Life segment, which we all look very fondly back at. But in hindsight, that one wasn't all that great, but that one was a masterpiece compared to what this was.
The audience loved that one.
Oh, yeah.
The audience hated this, and rightfully so.
Even myself as a viewer, I found myself kind of waiting for like that big punchline, something to kind of make this whole thing worthwhile. And I guess what it was the swerve at the end with Phil and Tracy wanting to get together. But it was not worth sitting through the rest of this. You know, everything from the props to the teacher to the girlfriend to the boyfriend, nothing really had any redeeming comedic value coming out of it. And to watch the crowd sit through it and eventually just start to boo louder and louder was probably the most entertaining part of it.
Yeah, this was awful. I am reminded of one of Eli Drake's Facts of Life segment this year on Impact, which was a dreadfully bad segment. Those, to me, are the front runners for our worst segment of the year.
Oh, right.
Just so many fewer people probably saw the Facts of Life segment, but it was terrible. So Bayley comes out, attacks Alexa, and then points to the kendo stick that's set up on the pole in the corner all of a sudden.
It was there at the beginning, too.
Oh,
they showed it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it till now, so that was a nice little surprise. Bliss stopped Bayley from climbing, grabbed the kendo stick, and attacked Bayley with the kendo stick. I praised this program. I said it was my most anticipated or best built storyline going into Extreme Rules, and this was the pin into the balloon for me.
They had a fumble this week.
Wait, this was a disqualification.
I would say the kendo stuff, kendo stick stuff at the end was still good. I think they've done a very good job teasing Bayley with this kendo stick and not having. They didn't even give away her reaching and grabbing the kendo stick. They don't even have her holding it. You know, and I love that. I love that they're trying to frame that this, such an innocent girl. How can we see her hold a kendo stick. And once she grabs it, will she use it? We don't know. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the thinking was of this. Like you have to look at the kind of dynamic a performer has to carry a segment like this. And no offense, like Alexa Bliss, and I would say the majority of the roster can't do this. And this was awfully put together. You're right. There was no climax to this. Yeah. This wasn't even structured for an easy pop at the end.
The climax was a weak climax.
It was Bayley running out.
It was Phil and Tracy getting together. You know what I mean? But I would say, like, I think Alexa is very strong. Maybe one of the strongest women. Probably her and Charlotte, I think, are the best promos in the division right now. But I think the writing in this was just exceptionally weak for what it was designed to be and the expectations that I think a segment like this sets you up for.
And part of that first This Is Your Life, which was 21 minutes, that was also not written.
Oh, is that right?
It was the two working off one another. I mean, it was,
but it was
your
still,
typical bullet point kind of segment, whereas this, I guarantee you, was significantally structured.
Perhaps.
This was probably structured to the word.
Maybe.
As most segments
And you also
are.
had The Rock. Okay?
Well, that's the point. I mean, I don't think anyone was saying, you know what, that concept is really something here.
Somebody must
Nothing
have said
to do
it.
with the performers.
Somebody must have said it.
Well, they've only done This Is Your Life one other time, and they did it with Rock and Mankind again. So I think it kind of tells you.
I don't think that one turned out that well either.
The second one was not that great.
Yeah.
The second one culminated with Jimmy Snuka and Mae Young.